Fresh Info.
Hey.
My name is Ethan Anderson.
My name is Zach Blunt.
I'm Robert.
And I am Zach Thomas, and we're so excited that you guys are tuning in today. Today is a little different. It's going to be fun, exciting. We're talking to the redhead himself, our lead pastor, Robert Strong.
Gingers for Jesus.
Gingers for Jesus, that's right. I used to be red-haired.
I'm getting a T-shirt that says it.
No, you aren't.
I swear it. I'll
We
wear
have
it on Sunday.
We have a lot of people that make T-shirts. We could make that happen.
Are you excited to be here today?
No.
We had to drag him in here, folks. Let me tell you.
I can tell in your face you're excited. Although all of your faces are about the same.
They're all the same.
Show us happy. Look in that camera and show us happy. Now show us sad. Mad. That's it.
That's what you want.
The faces of
That's
Robert.
exactly
All
what
the
I want.
emotions right there.
I like to keep people guessing.
It's so hot in here.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Okay.
Hey, what are we talking about
My
today,
face
Zachy?
matches your head.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, got him.
Old and shiny.
No way. All right, so today we are going to just dive into a little bit about your backstory, Robert, and just kind of where you've been through your ministry, and then kind of like what led you here to Freshwater. So can we just kind of start with you telling us a little bit about yourself?
So I was raised in California, Missouri, so not too far from here. I left in 2007, swore I'd never come back. I didn't want to live here again. I didn't want to move back here. I still don't go to California very much, but then the Lord brought my wife and I to a place where we had adopted some children, and we felt like they needed grandparents and aunts and uncles and all that in their life. And so Lord opened a door at Freshwater for us to come here, and we just said, we feel like this is what the Lord's doing, and we want to be where the Lord wants us to be. So, yeah, it was awesome.
It's really good. So tell us a little bit about some of your previous churches. Where'd you start, and kind of that?
I started in a country church in the middle of nowhere. So
And how old were you at that time?
That's right.
20, 21.
Sheesh.
I preached my first sermon when I was 14. So I've been preaching since 1999, and I've been a pastor since 2007.
That's awesome.
Man, 1999. I was 9 years old.
I was not preaching.
I was
also
not either.
9.
Yeah.
Were you bald yet?
It was starting to recede a little
My
bit.
parents were barely married at that point.
I'm pretty sure I'm old enough to be your dad.
Believe it or not. You are. That's a good thing.
You weren't born yet.
You are like our office dad,
That's right.
really, to be honest.
So church of 35, mainly senior adults, and probably learned between there and my first full-time church at First Grain Valley, the most amount of ministry I've learned was probably at those two places. They taught me how to do home visits, hospital visits, I learned how to preach, cut my teeth. As a matter of fact, my last Sunday at Honeywell in 2011, I'm walking out the back door, older gentleman, Harley Dodson, standing at the back door, shakes my hand, and he goes, "I just want you to know, when you first got here, we pretty much knew every sermon was going to be terrible. But we've come to expect that every once in a while you get a good one."
And today was one of those days,
Yeah.
son.
Thanks for being our pastor.
That's encouragement at its finest. Right?
You know what? Every single one of those sucked, but we still love you, Robert.
Yeah. And he meant it as a compliment.
It was a compliment.
Yeah, he wasn't
awesome.
being mean. He was being serious. Like, you were terrible, but now you're not always terrible.
Goals in life.
So it
Not to
only
be
gets
terrible.
better. So I'm doing a funeral a month ago. I did a funeral, and then I went back and preached at First Grain Valley. They're in transition of pastors. And so I took my Sunday that we had an elder preaching here at Freshwater, and so I thought, well, I'll go up to First Grain Valley and just, they love me like I was their grandkid. Awesome church, love those people. And so I get done preaching, and Roger Carrender, one of the guys that I built a really good relationship with, standing there in the aisle between the pews, and I go up to shake his hand, and he goes, "Man, you've actually got good at preaching."
Thanks.
First Grain Valley was your second church.
That was my
right?
second church. So
Yeah.
I just want you all to know you can be a pastor and be terrible at preaching for 6 years, and people still like you.
That's awesome.
They'll still
So-
like you at the end.
Yeah.
And why do you think they like you, though?
I don't know. I look like their grandkids.
Yeah, you think so?
That could help.
You think it had anything to do with like how you were with them? Like,
Oh, man. Roger Carrender, I remember one day he calls me up and he says, "Hey, I need some help." I was like, "Okay." So I drive over to his house, And he's like, hey, we're going to go out in the field today. And I was like, all right, we'll go out in the field today. And we pull up, and he's got this chute set up for cows.
Oh,
And we're giving shots to cows that day.
Oh, good.
And my job was to take a rod bar, and they'd put the cow into the chute, and then I had to run the bar up underneath the cow's chest so that it couldn't jump up and hurt you while you're trying to put a antibiotic shot in it.
Mm.
And the first one I missed, and so when you shoot it, when you pushed it through the chute, it catches in the corner on both sides, so that bar can't move. Well, I missed the second side, and the bull bucked and flipped that bar straight out of my hand and straight.
Oh,
And I was like, this dude's gonna get me killed.
yeah.
So that was my first experience with Roger Carrender, which wasn't as bad as the experience with another guy in the church who did animals, cattle. And he called me and he said, hey, I need some help loading up a bull into a trailer.
Oh no.
And I said, okay, I'm 25 years old. I'd worked on farms when I was a kid. I was a little familiar with it. But we get over there, and he's got a 2,200-pound bull that he wants to put in a trailer. And he says, hey, you're going to open that gate, and once the gate gets open, just hide behind it.
Just hide.
Yeah.
Hide
Yes.
behind it.
I was
That's
like,
right.
I was like, what do you mean hide behind it? He goes, well, that bull's not really all that nice. And you probably want to keep something between you and him while he loads up in the trailer. So I opened the gate, and sure enough, he rammed the gate right into the side. And luckily, the gate would hit the building, so I'm between the gate and the building holding on to it while we're trying to get this bull loaded in. So they were a different church. I know they're in Kansas City, but they're more country people.
Yeah.
I had
That's
a guy,
awesome.
the day they were going to vote on me, I had a guy walk out, and he says, hey, come with me for a second. I said, okay.
Not the old truck.
So we go out back to the truck, and he pops down the tailgate. There's a 25-pound catfish head, just the head, no body, just the head, sitting in the back of the truck.
That's what you're gonna look like if you don't do good here, Robert.
Yeah, in a plastic bag. So he opens up this bag, and he goes, hey, what do you think about that? And I was like, hey, that was a pretty nice catch you got. Where'd you get that? Did you get that on jugs or a line, or did you get it on pole? So he told me how he got it, and he looks over at me, and he goes, good enough for me, and I'm going to vote yes today. Walk back in the building.
So don't try nothing.
I'm pretty sure if I didn't know what that was or didn't know how to fish, he was going to vote no. And I'm pretty sure he was dead serious.
It's going to be a vote.
Yeah.
No.
So that's why they liked me.
Yeah.
What kind of fish is this, Robert? No, that's crazy. So you already talked a little bit about your family, but can you kind of go into some detail? Tell us who Hannah is if we don't know. And
Yeah. So
kids.
Brian Derrickson, one of our elders, I was in his wedding. I was his best man. And I met my wife at their wedding. So, yeah.
Nice.
And you had
Love
a bag
was-
over your head, right?
Yeah, she was, yeah.
Which is perfect for your face.
no way.
You did.
Coming for the guy who wishes he had hair over his head.
I wish I had hair so much.
That's crazy.
Oh, I'm calling Bosley today.
Your bald head has came up in every single fashion
Bosley and
photo.
Rogaine, I'm calling. I want to
Yeah.
be a spokesperson for them.
I'm pretty sure you'd be on every commercial for the entirety of
Like-
Rogaine if you actually grew hair back.
Oh man, I'd be royalty for life.
Because how can you grow that much hair on your back but it doesn't go up to your head?
I don't know. I wish I knew.
It's absolutely incredible.
Think about having to just grow up into a back mullet.
It's like a lizard.
Ooh,
Yeah,
a bullet.
yeah, a bullet.
So,
That's what you want.
so
Hey, back to your story.
She roomed with Brian's wife Keely in college, and so we're at the reception after the wedding, and Brian's like, "Hey, we're gonna have a dancing competition." I hate dancing.
I didn't see that coming. Yeah, not at all. Not at all.
No, you no,
Yeah, well, yes.
no way.
But I'm like, hey, it's your best friend. You'll do anything for him on their wedding day. So I was like, okay, I'll dance with these guys. And he goes, but there's one catch. It's a dancing competition with a bag on your head. And I was like, all right, well, this is even dumber than dancing. But whatever.
Now I'm even more annoyed.
So I put a bag on my head and danced to some dumb song. And I actually try. Like, I could have just stood there, which is normally what I would have done, but it's your best friend's wedding.
got
So I was like,
into it.
okay, I'll do whatever, point at some things. And
Oh,
shake my
yeah.
hips.
Oh, can you show us?
No.
some of those? I mean, we can put some music
I'm
on.
actually glad there's no video.
Oh man, I'm so sad. There isn't.
Yeah, it was before cell phones.
Gosh,
Wow.
that's so sad.
And so I take my bag off, and Brian had instructed all the other guys to take their bags off and let me dance by myself with a bag on my head.
That
What a good
is
friend.
Awesome.
Brian comes up and grabs the mic and he goes, "And your prize is to dance with Hannah."
Oh,
So she tried to hide in the bathroom. It was
that's
great.
awesome.
Yeah.
So Brian kind of put this together a little bit.
Oh,
in a
yeah.
way.
He
Hannah-
orchestrated.
Hannah's joke is that the whole time she was dancing with me, she only thing she could think about was, why don't you trim your nose hairs?
That is so awesome.
She's like, get that bag back
She's like,
on.
this dude's old.
Where's that bag?
old
Put it
at
back over
22.
here.
That's awesome.
So she thought I was some nerdy preacher boy that she wanted nothing to do with. So,
But she couldn't get enough of you.
That's right. She couldn't stop thinking about
Yep.
it. I don't
That's
blame
how
her.
it goes.
Can't blame her.
So I married her 2 years later. You know, why not?
There you
Why
go.
Why not?
why not?
Why not?
It was like the best day of her life.
It was when she married you.
Oh my.
This is good. This is getting canceled. This is fantastic.
No way.
This is how you know, if you're gonna, this is how the Strongs roll at home in a way.
Which on it's like social media, you guys go back and forth, which is always just a hoot.
Oh, she's so mean to me.
Yeah, I get that.
I'm nice to her, give her lots of credit. Have
Yep.
blessed her with my presence.
That's right.
Why you got your mic like that, Zach?
Yeah, you like that?
No.
No, you don't
The
like that.
condenser's in the top.
But I want it on the side.
Oh my gosh. Whatever.
You could hear me still.
Anyway,
love
so
it.
we got married.
Yep.
And she was in med school. I was in seminary. Our premarital counseling book, in the first chapter, or the first chapter, the second paragraph, the first line, it's giving an illustration of difficulty of marriage, and it literally says, it's talking about stressors and things like that. So it's like, like the worst combination you could have would be like if a doctor married a pastor.
Oh,
Perfect.
that's exactly.
And I'm telling
what
you, we have
want.
done our best to make that true.
You're doing your best to make that sentence true. Don't want to make them a liar.
That's right. I wanted that guy to get his money's worth.
That's right. Written them later say,
That's crazy.
You know that line? That was right.
Yeah. So I think we lived in 10 houses in our first 10 years of marriage.
Wow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cities. Yeah.
So was it hard your first couple years of marriage when she was still in med school and stuff? Because I know that's a lot of work. Like that's
yeah.
time consuming.
Yeah. She was working or studying 100 hours a week. It was crazy.
Wow.
I was pastoring my first church. I grew up with no family life. So, I thought marriage was easy until I did it.
Yeah.
And then realized, if you grow up without a mom and a dad, it's really hard to know what marriage looks like.
Yeah.
Kind of really good
is
at
true.
failing at it.
Yep.
That's about it. So the first 4 years for us was probably, first 4 or 5 years was really rough. Really, we had to work hard at it. So
Yeah. Well, that was good. I think let's kind of segue into let's talk a little bit about just opportunities here at Freshwater. There's a lot of people that are probably listening that are interested in that, and so we just kind of wanted to dive into kind of your take on some of those opportunities here, and you can take that however you want. We've just been kind of going, so let's just keep going.
that's as helpful as you can be.
Yes,
We'll
we'll
I
talk
can talk about anything under the stars and then some.
as far as
That
opportunity
relates to
wise
fresh
go.
water.
Like where
So from toilet cleaning to preaching, anywhere
Yes.
between there.
exactly? Now you get it. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah. Well, I would say that the opportunities at Freshwater are ever expanding. Our kids ministry is busting at the seams. Amanda Rozels did an awesome job, and the handoff has been phenomenal to Ethan and Sabrina. And so they're rocking it, doing great. They can always use help, teachers, volunteers. I would imagine most people probably have a testimony of some teacher or some worker, whether it was student ministry or kids men, that really impacted their life. And so at Freshwater, you have an opportunity to be that person. You can be the person that someone is looking back on their life and telling a story about and saying, hey, you'll never believe the impact that Zach had on my life when I was 9 years old. And we've heard some of those stories here at Freshwater. And so there's opportunities there. Our lobby is packed on Sunday mornings.
Yeah, it
so our first impressions, something as simple as just greeting at the door.
Yeah.
Just be like, hey, welcome to Freshwater. We're so glad that you're here.
Yeah.
And shaking their hand, asking them about their week. Hey, tell me about yourself. People want to be seen.
Yeah.
And if they walk into a church and they sit in a pew or sit in a chair and they listen to the worship, and that can all be really good, but if they can make it in and make it out without really having a good connection, then, statistically, it's not very likely that they're going to come back. Most people, if you say, hey, what's the one thing keeping you at your church? A lot of people will say it's relationship. Preaching and music and that stuff may keep them at first, like the thing they're looking for. They'll come and do we like the preaching? Do we like the music? Those types of things. But what keeps people at the church is service and relationship. Those are the two reasons that people go, I'd never leave my church. I love the people that I go to church with, and I love serving the Lord where I serve.
Right.
So little things, greeting at a door, working at helping with the refresh, donuts and coffee and all that kind of stuff, helping seat people in the worship center, working at the info desk. There's all kinds of ways that you can serve in that capacity. And there's student ministry. Student ministry is growing and doing awesome. They're going to camp this week. I think they're taking 38 people to camp this week.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah, boy.
You fired up, Ethan?
I'm already tired.
Good.
You look
Perfect.
tired.
Are you
Yeah,
gonna?
you got
are
that
you gonna?
Celsius.
Well, we're gonna get sponsored soon, and we'll be good to go.
Yeah. Are we?
That's the plan.
Sponsor us, Celsius.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
I just want you all to know that he's repping Celsius, but I love our church more because I'm repping
That's right.
Ooh.
And 2 times.
But you don't have that
There
freshwater
and on the shirt.
sticker
2
on
times.
there, though. Check it.
He doesn't need it on the
Oh,
sticker.
you got
Yeah.
the polo.
Hey, so
crazy.
Robert, at Freshwater, what are you most excited about right now? Like what's like the exciting things that are going on here that just like, man, I'm pumped about these things.
I am most excited about the number of people that have given their life to the Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we had over 40 baptisms last year. We're
Love
headed towards the same kind of numbers this year.
Mm-hmm.
And not that that's what it's all about, but baptism is a reminder that someone has stepped out of darkness and into light.
Yep.
And so I don't know that there's anything I get more excited about than seeing the gospel take a hold of someone's heart and change their life. And we're seeing it from kids all the way to senior adults.
Yep.
And so our baptistry at this point has no preference. It's, the Lord doesn't care if they're 85 or if they're 8. Like the gospel's the same, and it changes hearts just the same. I would say between that and just what we're seeing take place in our discipleship, our men's, women's ministries, life groups, and just watching God work, not just to save people, but to grow them into faithful, obedient followers of the Lord.
Yeah.
That's good.
And so me and Ethan we talked to Next Up leaders yesterday, and it was really encouraging to hear that there were 40 college-aged ladies that were signed up for Wednesday night group. And so that's been super awesome. God's been working through them, and that's been really good. And so if you guys are young adults and you want to get involved, they meet second service. So they would really love to have you, and then they'll give you more information. There's a lot of cool stuff coming up. So, yeah,
It's good.
pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Small little plug.
Absolutely. Hey, what does a normal week look like for you?
So I spend probably 25% of the week fathering you 3.
That might be generous.
This is true.
I'm just glad we're past diaper changing stages. That's really helpful.
Barely.
Well, yeah.
I go back and forth.
Let's be fair.
There's still nap times and burping, but
Oh, love that nap time.
That's what you want. So,
isn't that why you got that chair in your office?
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
You can spend as much time napping as you do anything else.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Absolutely.
No, really, it's
a ratio.
probably I spend usually about 20 hours a week on my message. I spend another probably 10 to 15 hours just trying to learn. So whether that's reading books or listening to lectures on Old or New Testament, or listening to training videos on leadership, whatever that might be. And then I spend another good amount of time. I've got a meeting probably almost every morning of the week, meeting with guys, most of it on leadership development, pastoral ministry, stuff like that. And then, counseling when it's needed, home visits. I love going and sitting with people in their home and just hearing their story and hearing what God's doing in their life, where'd they come from, what kind of life did they grow up, what'd they do, where'd you work, what kind of things have you experienced in your life, and just be able to learn from, especially senior adults.
Yeah.
And so that's, it's teaching, preaching, leadership development, vision, working with staff.
That's good.
Staff meeting at 9 a.m. on Tuesdays.
That's right.
That's where it happens.
Every Tuesday.
That's right.
That's where the magic is.
That's where it is.
Where the magic is.
Ethan's in there,
Yep.
I'm
ready to
there.
go.
I'm 2 Celsius deep,
Ooh,
ready to go.
You've been on those Celsius lately.
I
That's
am. It's
crazy.
a stupid diet.
Hey, don't sound so hostile.
sorry.
Listen,
Someone's
in case you
hangry.
guys are
Yeah, a
wondering,
little bit.
Have you eaten
Ethan.
today?
I have. I've had peanuts, so not a lot.
You see Ethan
I
walking
have eaten
around.
some.
We're all 4 on the same diet regimen.
For the record, mine's not a diet.
His is
Yours-
permanent.
This is a new
Yours is
lifestyle.
different.
Yeah.
Mine is die
It
or do it.
or do it. That's good. No way. But it's been crazy. So if you guys see Ethan on Sunday morning, make sure to go up to him and eat your donut like right in front of him.
Close
likes
enough. I
that
want
a lot.
it so I can
He
smell
does.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
Real
eat
close.
chocolate. Love the
That's-
smell of this food.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Just the taste of it.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
I just want just a hint of it.
Yeah.
That's so
That's it.
crazy.
That's it.
Well, we're gonna wrap it up. That was
Sweet.
really awesome. Thank you, Robert, for coming on to Fresh Info, and it was always fun, and pleasure having you. I don't really know. I don't know who's
It's
next.
you. You're
I don't-
next.
Yeah, you got.
You have to be next.
I could.
No,
You-
it is.
you are.
Okay,
Yeah.
You are.
that'd be fun. Let's
yeah,
do it. then.
it will be.
Okay.